Good evening. The time is now 6:45. I'd like to call the Town of Plainfield Pension Board meeting to order for January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mike Supernat.
Tom Sinkowitz.
Kevin Cunningham.
Stephanie Walsh.
Mike Rudd.
Thank you. Item C is public comment. Is anybody here from the public who wishes to speak? Okay. Item D is to approve the minutes of the Pension Board meeting dated 12/8/2025.
I'll make a motion that we approve the pension board meeting minutes from 12/8/2025.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstained.
Aye.
Thank you. There is no old business under item F. For new business, there is one request for pension. Pension distribution request comes from your packet. You will see that Mr. Paul Schneel is asking for, after 33 years of service to the highway department and working at the police station as a mechanic, he is asking for a pension to be paid out starting February 1st, 2026, and the monthly amount will be $2,167.25. And of course, he will be coming from the town police pension. So if anybody wish to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to pay Paul Schneel a monthly pension of $2,167.45.
Starting February 1st.
Starting February 1st.
Second.
Any other discussion?
I will just say, I definitely appreciate his many years of service to the town of Plainfield. Much appreciated. Not something that I get all the time. Somebody who sticks with the town that many years. So big thank you to him.
Motion has been made. The second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So no other business. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now adjourned. Good evening. The time is now 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this Town of Plainfield Board of Selectmen meeting to order for January 12th. And please ask you to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mike Supernat.
Tom Sinkowitz.
Kevin Cunningham. Item C, approve the meeting minutes from the Board of Select meeting on 12/22/25.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 12/22/25.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item D is public comment. If you wish to speak, if you want to go to the microphone up there. Traffic, wouldn't mind if you just power it on. It's a lower button, slide.
Good enough?
Should be.
My name is Trav Harmon. I'm from Moosup. When Ordinance 145, the right to farm ordinance, was first proposed, I clearly stated that I had no opposition to it. I supported it then, and I support it now. When the open fire permit ordinance was announced, I had an issue with the wording. After talking with the fire marshal and making modifications, I stated that I would endorse the ordinance if the final language reflected those modifications. That standard applies here. I support Ordinance 145 when it aligns with state law and respects to existing structure of boards, commissions, and oversight in this town. I cannot support the authority section that has been added to this version. That language centralizes power. It pulls authority away from the established commissions and existing processes and concentrates it into a very small group.
Excuse me, Trav.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that's been modified. Take it, struck it out of there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else here wish to speak?
However, that was not publicly posted. So when I looked on the website to confirm that tonight and the minutes, or agenda for this meeting, it wasn't posted. So I, like the former speaker, support the ordinance 145 right to farm in the absence of the authority.
Thank you. Is anybody else here wish to speak?
It's not.
Just curious, on the tax refunds, 78716, is that the total for the ones that are below that?
I just wanted to make sure that you understood that there was, we'll be talking about, there's an incorrect number on there, and I've already verified that with
Because I was like $1,100.
Yeah, 1173.61.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody else wish to speak? Hearing none, we'll go right into new business. Consider an act on tax refunds as requested by the tax collector. The correct total is $1173.61. Nissan Motor Acceptance Corp. $183.86. Nissan Motor Acceptance Corp. 286.73. Gregory Krasinski 9708. Toyota Lease Trust 408.34, and Donald P. Broder 197.60.
I'll make a motion that we approve the refunds as requested by the tax collector for $1173.61.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The numbering is also incorrect. This will be number 2. Discuss and approve ordinance 145 as amended to be forwarded to the public informational meeting on January 22nd, 26. As mentioned previously, you noticed that there was a error there, so it was struck in that last, I think it was 2 paragraphs that were in there. So if this is what you'd like to see go forward, we would appreciate your consideration.
I had spent some time talking to the Ag Commission Chair, and I appreciate the fact that she was able to come out tonight and also spend time, explaining what the Ag Commission had originally proposed, and then of course what was going forward. So my only thing would be to make sure that, as it's been said, it's been stricken out. So if we were to approve it with that stricken out, would members of yourself as the chair, would you be comfortable with it going forward, with it stricken out, or was there any other type of concerns that we should look at?
If I may, from the floor.
Sure.
Okay. This was a topic of discussion at our last Agriculture Commission meeting this month, and the Commission supports this language moving forward with that completely stricken out. The language as it stands was perfectly fine before that.
Okay.
So if you were to approve the amended version of this, then we can post it up online.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended version of ordinance 145 as specified.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is to discuss and approve lease continuation with Crown Castle for land located at Unity Ave and forward the request on to the Board of Finance.
There was one addition that was spoken about the other night. Was that taken care of for?
I believe it is. I'm pretty sure we actually had a conversation. Was there any other language you wanted to add to that, if you don't mind, Jeff?
No, I did review that, which you sent on Friday.
Yep.
It was very lengthy. Some of the other ones out there are a little less. There's a couple things I'd just like to clarify. It almost looks as if the tower company will do the install and the cabling. So I was just wondering I didn't know if that was language from if it was a new tower install or whether they would do that on an existing tower.
I think that would be on the existing tower.
Okay. Yep, because it almost looked like it could have been used for either a new build,
Yep.
but this is just re-upping a lease, so
Right.
that would be, obviously a good thing.
If you wouldn't mind helping me out, it's terminology that I got caught up with. It's a whip?
Yeah, which is, yes, so they use arrays on the cell tower. Our antennas are just like fiberglass stick antennas is what they consider that. Yes.
All right, I think we'll have no problem with that then.
Yeah, because it proposed two spots, so
Yep.
that's fine, at the top of the tower, which is great.
And you were satisfied with the public safety exception?
Yes, yeah, and like I said, it's pretty wordy, but it
Yeah,
has
very
the
wordy.
stuff in there, yes.
Took up most of the agreement.
Yeah.
So what's your pleasure with this?
I'll make a motion to send the ground castle cell tower to the Board of Finance.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? At that time, when we get to the Board of Finance, we'll pick a date that will be appropriate for town meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item up says discuss and approve the sale of 651 Norwich Road and for the request of the Board of Finance. What I did was, we had that public information meeting again, we had 2 presentations done, and I gave you a copy tonight. What the actual dollar values are. $1 value was from 1.5 million for VJ, and that was the first presentation. And then the second presentation was from Krupa, and that was for 1.444. I just have to be blunt, I thought Krupa's presentation was very good.
I thought they were both good. Obviously, I think Krupa's was the better of the 2 presentations. But I do have some reservations on sending this to the Board of Finance. Kevin, I have explained to you in the past. We talked about the needs and the wants of the town. Obviously, what is the needs and the wants of the town? I don't know what they are. We did organize a capital strategic planning committee a couple weeks ago. They haven't had an opportunity to look at this, tell us what our needs are, where we should go. And I think a professional should come in and obviously assess our buildings and tell us what we need. I do know that the buildings need about $2.8 million worth of infrastructure done to them, but I know it's not all needs to be done in 1 year. That can be prorated or out over numerous years. I just don't want to rush into any type of judgment or decision without getting somebody who's a professional in this field steering us our right to give away town assets. That's my biggest reservation.
Understood. I think the calendar process of how we went about this was talking about it was given back to us by the Board of Education, and we didn't have enough money in the budget to continue the types of upgrades that we needed to do. Now we're at that point where we need to do those upgrades. Now you're saying that we wanted to do them in stages. I believe that some of those items need to be taken care of immediately. This was not part of the capital strategic group. It was not part of that at all. And that was discussed a long time ago. So the issue of someone saying that it was part of this is not true. This was something that we talked about by saying this is separate. That's why we went out to get a realtor. That's why we have 2 properties, 2 companies looking to purchase. The assessments was already done as part of the Board of Education's assessment study. That's that book we took that from. You can't just say, let's not do X, Y, and Z. Certain things, like the roof has to be done, the boiler has to be done. There's upgrades that need to be done to the HVAC system, at least the upgrades to be done to it. We're talking about a lot of money that we have to put into our budget for this year. So,
I agree. You're looking at a roof at about $150,000. The boiler, if you go totally redone, you're looking at about $750,000. So everything that needs to be done is under $1 million, and it doesn't have to be done within the next 6 months. So I think we should let our strategic planning committee work, or if the strategic planning committee cannot make that decision, we should have a professional come in and assess our buildings. That's just my...
Well, it was a professional assessment. RA means it's a very, very professional assessment company.
Yep, and the fire alarms, I mean, obviously, we don't need a fire alarm new build in there for $750,000 because there is one in there right now. That is working. There are some things that we can hold off. They're not saying we need to do this all in 1 year at $2.8 million.
My preference would be go let the public vote on it.
And I agree, 100%. It needs to go to the public no matter what.
Yeah, but if you do it later on, let's say you put it to the public in June, July, August, we already have to have a budget done. And whatever has to be upgraded has to be upgraded now in our budget.
Kevin, one question I had is, the way you had worded this was to discuss and approve the sale of 651 Norwich Road. And the thing is usually, we would send it to the Board of Finance and we would be sending this to town meeting. But the way this is worded, it can be interpreted by people to say that we're actually approving the sale of the building, which of course we're not doing.
No. Bear with me under the charter. Under charter, 2.5, C, after recommendation by the Board of Selectmen and approval of the Board of Finance, any sale or purchase of real estate or interest therein. We have to at least give our blessings to bring it forward to the Board of Finance, let them do their due diligence to bring it forward to, if they're going to the public. But that's how the process works.
I just wanted to make sure it was clear to the public, because I have been spending, I know, a lot of time in recent months explaining to people that the sale has not been finalized. The sale is not approved. But some people, of course, have misinterpreted it, and some people have said on social media that it's a done deal. So I just want to make sure that the public understands that it's yet to be voted on by the public, and we don't know if it's necessarily going to sell or not.
Yeah. Well, social media talks about things that are done deals. I mean, we talk about reading through that, you see that the waste to energy plant is a done deal. So that's not true either.
Yeah. No, I just feel that it's certainly our job to make sure that we clarify that.
Yep.
You know, the public realize.
Absolutely. This is really just saying that we would prove it to go to the next steps. And let the Board of Finance then determine what they'd like to do with it. And hopefully then eventually the public will get to vote on it.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is, I think that it's something that we let the public decide on. If they decide that they want to keep it, then we are able then to put it to our budget. If they decide to move on, then so be it.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. I certainly share those same concerns, but most importantly, I do want to know what the people want done with it. The only way that's going to happen is for them to vote on it. And of course, if there's an overwhelming crowd that comes out to vote in favor of selling it, then the townspeople have spoken. But on the opposite, though, I will say that if we have, however many people will come out, 200, whatever, and the majority of those people vote to not sell and keep it, then I would want to spend, I know, a lot of time looking at it very carefully, because like I said, it's going to cost a lot of money, obviously, to have to budget for, but we're not going to let it turn into an Annex 2.0. We're not going to let it sit there for another year or two. It's already been 15 months that it's been sitting there, so we definitely would need to act on it, within the next 6 months.
That's why I was hoping that we go to the public and let the public decide which way they're going to go with it.
I agree that it needs to be voted on by the public.
And the only way that gets to be done is to move forward.
I think the public needs more information on it.
All right. Any other discussion? Anybody here willing to make a motion of any type? I would make a motion to approve moving this forward to the Board of Finance. Any second? Hearing none, that motion dies. Okay. Just be aware that we'll have to put that entire amount or a large portion of that into the budget, because we can't wait 6, 7 months for the company to come in and then say, okay, here's the numbers you're going to have to put in. We have to put something in.
We do have, just to clarify, on the calendar for, I believe, next Thursday, the 22nd, we do have a meeting finally on the calendar for the Strategic Planning Committee.
Right.
Okay. I would like to attend that meeting and get some feedback at that meeting from them and to hear what they have to say. Doesn't mean that obviously it's necessarily going to change the circumstances, but I still would like to get their input, because after all, we did appoint them to that committee. And even though, like you said, that it was from the beginning not part of it, I think we could still honor them because of the fact that they do exist now, and we did appoint people to it. I think we should listen to hear what they have to say. And that's not like that 6 months to a year from now. It's literally next week. So I think it should be discussed there, but obviously I wouldn't want to,
That's fine. I understand the process, what they'll be doing. They'll be sitting down talking about first election of officers, and then talking about one of the action items, which is asking the Board of Finance for monies for the assessment of the rest of the buildings.
And I think, obviously, if Tom is volunteering for that, he could let the committee know that that's a priority, and they should look into that first, and then we can always add that onto an agenda this month or next month.
All right, next up is item for discussion on action on adding a member to the Ethics Commission.
You only need one member?
At this point, yes.
There was two applicants.
Correct.
I read both of them. It's, of my opinion, Carol Lynn Thompson probably would be the best of the two applicants.
So do we hear a motion then?
Is there any discussion, Tom?
No, I would agree with that. I would make a motion to appoint Carol to the Ethics.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 5, discuss and act on adding a member to the Economic Development Commission.
You only need one?
Well, we need a couple more. I put something out there a little while ago on a video talking about all the, probably a good time to reiterate. We need Building Code Board of Appeals. Actually, now we need 2 people for that. Conservation, they need 4 more for that. Economic Development, just the 1. Ethics has now been filled. You're going to have to change the process for the Housing Authority because there's an opening for Housing Authority, but it has to be only for a resident within that section there. The other ones are inland wetlands. We need 2. Open Space Advisory was 4. Northeast District Department of Health, we need 2. I had 1 person put their requested today to join, so I'll process through that with the Northeast District Department of Health. But those are the openings we have. But yes, for this one, just 1 for economic development.
I'll make a motion that we accept Casey Brown.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No other items, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.